11 Alive News at 6 p.m. starts now.
Just in, a brand new severe thunderstorm watch expanded to include the metro Atlanta area and a new severe thunderstorm warning on the east side. We'll track these for you coming up.
Plus, bond denied for Young Thug, the latest in the RICO case against the Atlanta rapper after he spent more than a year behind bars.
And unauthorized access. Some patients of a Metro Atlanta orthopedics clinic say their personal data may have been compromised.
Well, right now we are tracking more rain moving across our area, and that includes a few rumbles of thunder and even a new severe thunderstorm watch and warning now in effect for Metro Atlanta.
So let's get you straight over to our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, to see if these are as intense as yesterday's weather, Chris.
We don't think they're going to be that strong or that widespread, but we're just getting some breaking information in right now of this new severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued. Earlier, we were saying it was just North Georgia. Now it includes all of the Metro Atlanta area until 1 o'clock this morning. We also have been tracking these storms moving over the city, and they've been expanding, pushing over toward the east of us. And then this one is intensifying. This is where we have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect with this cluster of storms. You can see it along I-20 in Rockdale County over Conyers, moving into Gwinnett County, Walton County, also into Newton County. And those are the counties now under this warning until 6:30. The main threats with this: very heavy rain, frequent lightning, winds of 60 miles an hour, and the potential for some hail. There's that lightning cluster with this. We've got about 79 lightning strikes just in the past 15 minutes. These storms went through Atlanta earlier. We have more storms here. These are growing back into Cobb County with some heavy rain, lightning with that, and then that stretches back into Polk County, where we're seeing plenty of lightning developing there too. More storms in northwest Georgia and even back into Alabama. This is going to keep feeding our way tonight. That's why the National Weather Service has issued a new severe thunderstorm watch, not just for North Georgia. Now it includes all of Metro Atlanta down on the south side. This will be in effect until 1 o'clock tonight. We'll take you through the timeline of when these storms will move through and talk about the potential impacts in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, we'll see you soon. Thank you. Meanwhile, many people are still trying to recover after last night's round of severe weather. Take a look at this damage from Athens, where trees snapped and blocked traffic near the University of Georgia campus. And tonight, power has been restored at the water treatment facility in Forsyth County after last night's storms.
Yeah, so here's what happened. Without the power, the facility was unable to pump out enough water for more than 67,000 customers. Forsyth County officials tell us power was restored around 1 this afternoon, but officials are still asking people to conserve water until about noon tomorrow. We're told the water is safe and there is no need to boil it. And for more on Forsyth County recovery from last night's storm, we're going to check in right now with 11 Alive's Joe Ripley. He is at Hammond's Boat Storage and coming.
There used to be a structure and a roof surrounding all of these boats here at Hammond Boat Storage until a storm passed through and sent that metal and wood flying into the field behind me. In all, the owner says the storm damaged about 50 stalls and up to 20 boats. Each boat owner will now need to file a claim with their insurance company, while Hammond files its own claim to take stock of the damage. The business has been family owned since 1986. Dozens of friends and boat owners have been cleaning up and hauling truckloads of scrap metal and wood since about 7 this morning. Tim Hawkins says it's a testament to the small town community that's helping a family in need.
My mother-in-law here, she spent, 30 years building this place up. It was pretty devastating to see the damage when we first pulled up. So we had a lot of hugging moments, and we got through it, got our blood pressure down, and we just got to muscle through it now at this point.
The family also owns this fishing store next door. They tell me while they lost power and lost all their bait and fish, they're thankful no one got hurt in the storm. In Forsyth County, Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
And especially here in Georgia, we all know that weather can change in an instant. So make sure you're staying weather aware. It's as easy as downloading the 11 Alive News app. Just scan that QR code you see right there on your screen to download it for free.
Well, tonight we have new details in the YSL RICO trial. The judge denying bond yet again for rapper Young Thug, also known as Jeffrey Williams.
11 Alive's Karis Belger has been in court all day. She explains the reason the judge gave in making his decision.
Fulton County prosecutors cited safety concerns for witnesses as a reason to deny bond to Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug, and co-defendant Diamante Kendrick, also known as Yak Gotti. And today, text messages going back to 2010 were used as evidence.
A person very close to the defendant called the police and indicated that the defendant had messaged her, "Snitch hoes get murked, them and their kids."
That is Chief Deputy District Attorney Adrienne Love, referencing what she says are text messages sent by Young Thug in court on Friday.
"You need to be killed, bro. That's from me and YSL." Those were his words.
The argument was part of a pre-trial bond hearing as Williams' attorney, Brian Steele, attempted to get the rapper, who has been in custody for more than a year, released. This case focuses on allegations that Williams' record label YSL is actually a gang that was involved in criminal activity across Atlanta.
Witnesses will not be intimidated. There'll be no obstruction of justice. The person will not, in this case, Mr. Williams, will not commit a felony or any crime.
A similar argument coming from the attorney representing Diamante Kendrick, also known as rapper Yak Gotti.
Mr. Kendrick has volunteered his time and money, and those kids are asking, where's Coach Yak? And I would like, at some point, for Coach Yak to be able to go back to them.
But concerns over potential threats to witnesses led the judge to keep both men in custody. And today, attorneys continued the jury selection process for this case. Things will pick up again on Tuesday. Karis Belger, 11 Alive News.
Happening tomorrow, the funeral for the family of a Hall County Sheriff's deputy killed in a crash. Deputy Patrick Neal Hortzklaw's wife and 2 children were killed as they tried to cross a highway last weekend in Habersham County. The funeral is planned for 2 p.m. Saturday at Free Chapel Worship Center on McEver Road in Gainesville. The Georgia law enforcement community is working to raise money for Deputy Holtzclaw. We have a link to the fundraiser on our website, 11alive.com.
Our thoughts are certainly with their family tonight. And tonight we are hearing from the Gwinnett County Sheriff on how the department is working to make sure students and teachers are ready for the first day of school. The department's going to be hosting their 3rd annual Back to School Bash next week, and they'll be handing out free teaching supplies and backpacks. The sheriff says the outreach event is all a part of the department's ongoing efforts to make sure families in Gwinnett County know that they are here to help, not just to enforce.
We are the sheriff's office. This agency is here for any and everybody, regardless to who you are, what your race is, what your gender may be, what you believe, what your religious belief is. You know, we're here to service everybody.
Sheriff Taylor says the department has spent the last 2 years making mental health a priority. They've also made anti-bullying and anti-gang prevention a priority. The sheriff says several leaders from these outreach programs will be present at next weekend's event.
A large orthopedic practice in Atlanta is notifying patients of a data breach.
And this is not the first time it's happened. In a letter to patients this week, Peachtree Orthopedics warns personal information, including social security numbers and financial information, may have been exposed by a breach they discovered a few months ago. As our Palacero reports, this is the 3rd breach.
The letter states Peachtree Orthopedics became aware of this breach back in April 20th. A former patient tells me he's upset it took them 3 months to notify patients.
And that's what's so upsetting, because all of our financial information could have been used by those hackers in those 3 months without any of their patients knowing anything about it.
A former Peachtree Orthopedics patient who wanted to remain anonymous speaking with 11 Alive about this letter he received in the mail. It reads that between April 14th and 20th, unauthorized access to the company's server potentially exposed patients' personal information, social security numbers, and financial accounts.
I was very frustrated and I got upset, especially when I looked at how long it took for them to notify me that my financial information was out there in the criminal element.
This is the 3rd hack Peachtree Orthopedics has reported to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in the last 7 years, according to federal data, with this breach impacting nearly 35,000 patients. Peachtree Ortho writes that it has reset passwords and gave patients access to 12 months of complimentary credit monitoring and identity protection services.
You know, that's like putting a Band-Aid on a bleeding wound.
11 Alive called, left voicemails, emailed, and reached out to the company on social media, but so far, no response. In Atlanta, Paolo Suro, 11 Alive News.
Still ahead, we are sharing the latest salute to the life and legacy of former Georgia Congressman and civil rights activist John Lewis.
And we go one-on-one with Atlanta rap legend Killer Mike about his new album and how his life story helped him open up about grief and healing.